Busting out an old one, friends. We're busting out an old one. You know what? I didn't even set up the cameras. I'll have to do that during intros. I am your complex and excitable storyteller, APGamingREAL. Some have described me as mysterious and eloquent. I don't even know if the guy that said that still watches this show, honestly. I'm not telling a story tonight, except the story of Androchiron, who is full of memes and smiles whenever someone points a gun in his head. Meanwhile,
I was gonna say sadness, but that's okay.
I don't know. Androchiron his past is full of sadness, mostly because he's been used as
there is a bubble,
replacement part on a ship.
I like the way you blame your character for memeing.
Yeah. So Arthur, there is a bubble that says sadness at the top, and self-flagellation is definitely within that bubble. So you're definitely there.
Okay. This is Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader Strings of Fate, Season 3, Episode 12, Furibundus. I'm going to toss this over to Dave while I rearrange the cameras. Stand by, friends. It's really just that I need to move Dave and James.
Yeah, we move around sometimes. Us
Amazing. I fixed it already. Just 2 moves. It's like Rubik's Cube. I'm a genius.
So I actually, I do this thing every once in a while, and I'm sure other game designers do this stuff as well, where they sort of like have games that you have to play in order to like further your knowledge about like building interesting products. And I finally bought Inscription and I'm playing it and it is blowing my fucking mind. Like, I haven't played a game like Inscription in so long. It is absolutely crazy. It is so, okay. I'm not going to say about anything about what happens.
Let me say this for the folks at home. The guy who wrote Inscription said something like, I've been waiting a decade to make a game better than Grand Theft Auto or Skyrim. Now I'm about to destroy everyone with Inscription. And I was like, well, that's confidence for an indie game. That's pretty good confidence. No, please continue, Dave. How is Inscription? I want to know.
It is so fucking good. It has had me captivated for like 20 hours.
Mesmerized?
Yeah, that is a pretty good. So it is part roguelike card game, like Magic the Gathering, mixed with deck building, mixed with escape room, mixed with horror, mixed with like puzzles and other things like that. It is fucking nutty. It is so good. It is so goddamn good. And I'm pretty sure it's on sale right now. So if any of those things are in your Venn diagram of likes, just go and play this game, because it's made by the same guy that made Pony Island. And if anyone's ever played Pony Island, you know exactly what I'm fucking talking about. So go grab this game. It is absolutely fucking insane. I love it.
It's 20% off, and it has got overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. In fact, the top review says the worst thing about this game is the fact you can only play it for the first time once.
Mm-hmm. It is absolutely fucking insane. It is
Imagine
so
having
good.
cojones that huge. Just
like
you thought I was memeing.
Just go play this game. Like, honestly, I can't recommend it enough. Like, I saw it and I saw the trailer for it, and it's like this weird game of like, okay, yeah, I mean, I get what that game is. And then it went on sale, and I just bit the bullet, because it's like, I have to play like roguelikes and shit like that in order to build a better roguelike, right? So, no, it just mind blown. Such a fucking amazing game.
I got to ask you, Dave, as a game developer yourself, do you have this moment when you play with a game that you go, "Fuck, I wish I was the one that made this"?
All the time, like all the time, because some of the stuff is just like so simple that people do that, like, it's a lot of stuff that people haven't done before. These days, making video games is about sort of mixing 2 genres together and blending them like efficiently. So, you get like a third-person action survival game, right? Like, you just sort of grab a bunch of genres and you mix them together. And it's, I don't know, yeah, this game is absolutely fucking, it definitely deserves all the laurels it's getting, for sure.
I certainly experience this thing in my job now. With my job, I don't actually do anything. I don't produce anything or make anything or create anything. All I do is I tell other people to do those things. And a lot of those people do things that I used to do earlier in my career. And every now and again, some of them will come out with some real gold, like some great outcome. But I'm like, gee, even when I did that, I couldn't have done that. And I sort of get imposter syndrome that I don't feel like I should be telling these people to do something where they're doing a better job than I could possibly achieve in that role.
Yeah, so I think you and I are in the exact same position in terms, not like scope, but like definitely with, you know, I've made games and now I'm telling people how to make games and I'm paying them to do it. And then sometimes they do things that will exceed my expectations, and it's just kind of like, man, I don't know. So all I can do is like keep experiencing these things because fucking hell, like. It takes a lot to like push my brain the way that this game has. So I don't know. It's really fucking good. To the point where my wife is getting angry at me because I'm just like, look, this is work. Trust me, this is work. I've been playing it for like 20 hours. It's like, yeah, it's so goddamn good. Just go play it. Like really.
I got a tangent here to go on with what James said. Spoon can certainly attest that when we were playing Empyrean, my designs were not aesthetically pleasing. The determination was highly functional, over-armored, barely capable of limping out of the atmosphere, but boy, did it fucking hit like a truck. And it turned out that in Empyrean, the hammerhead design works really goddamn well for ground interception or just any sort of weapon system. But I could never make it look good. I could never make it look beautiful. And then Henley would show up with this smooth, curved line with like a fucking jacuzzi and 2 lounges and like a stripper bar somewhere on the ship. And I was just like, what the fuck is this thing? How did you guys, who made this? Why is it so beautiful compared to this piece of garbage? I remember you had one ship that had a landing pad on the back of it. And I tried to recreate that on the determination, and it ended with Dave sitting in the engine exhaust.
Some people design for efficiency, you know, just throw a chair on it. Some people design for stripper poles, okay? Like, you just gotta go.
It's a classic style versus substance argument.
Exactly.
Well, I gotta tell you. No, go ahead.
Having said that, though, like those ships, every ship blows up the exact same fucking way in that game. So like, it doesn't matter what you do unless you literally make a coffin that flies through space.
That's what we did. We did make a coffin. It had multiple levels of super thick armor. I mean, it was incredible. I've been playing Kerbal Space Program, which you may know if you've been watching YouTube. And
that's a scary game that I wish I knew how to play.
I'm getting better at it.
You can learn so much from a game like that, but at the same time, it's like, man, I would have to be fucking crazy to actually want to sit down and try and learn this game.
Well, I will say that for every hour I play, I normally spend another hour reading or watching a video on how to do the thing correctly. But some of my designs lately have just been, rather than get the aesthetic, it's been to get the minimum possible effort. And sometimes that is less than the minimum needed, and the rocket tilts sideways and snaps in half in the air. But that's what happens when you try stacking an incredibly long, thin rocket that's held together by one really tiny piece of Mark I landing can in the middle. And when gravity starts to kick in, you just... So when you hit revert flight and just say, it was a simulation. It was a simulation.
That game is really interesting because like it almost borderlines onto like educational, and
it is educational, Dave.
Well, I mean,
what do you mean borderlines on educational? You need a fucking astronomy to create astrophysics here to do this.
I think what he
shit.
means is it starts to look like it was designed
to teach people things. That was exactly what it was supposed to do.
Over enjoyment.
Yeah.
I mean, some people would say education is enjoyable, right? Oregon Trail.
Whoa.
That's nobody?
Okay.
Oregon Trail?
I mean,
Really?
Oregon Trail was also a good game.
Yeah.
Are you talking
that's
shit
what I'm
about
saying.
Kerbal?
No. Kerbal's also a good game.
Yeah, I'm saying
What
like
I'm saying-
education and entertainment can go hand in hand because sometimes
okay.
they're the same thing.
But I'm not going to learn how to be a rocket scientist by playing Kerbal. I'm not going to go like, oh yeah, NASA,
That's true. You're not,
I
because
beat
Kerbal is not a 1-for-1 of the solar system.
Exactly.
Well,
But it's
I mean,
about
like,
understanding how you get things up there.
Sure, but also that game is like one of those weird products where like it's kind of like the same type of people that get enjoyment from like the extreme trucking games. So,
But I'm getting
the
ready to
German-
play the extreme trucking games. Wow, I feel so shit on right now.
Well,
I played
you
Math
didn't let me
Blaster as well.
finish.
Reading
didn't let
Rabbit,
me-
friends. Zumbinis? What was that called with the Zumbinis? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? No?
Oh,
All
I
right.
mean, I was going to finish the joke, Arthur,
right,
aka
go
the
ahead.
Germans, aka the Germans. They're the people that buy those games.
I buy those games. I'm German at no, I'm American at heart. Couldn't even say it. Couldn't even finish it. Nobody knows about these Zumbinis? Unbelievable. You guys are missing out.
No, I know Zumbinis. I just don't want to placate you. You know, I don't want.
Not engaging.
It's not a...
I mean, Dave's not engaging with you, Arthur.
Oh, all right. It's called The Logical Journey of the Zumbinis, and it was a mathematical puzzle game on how to get stupid little blue fluff balls from one side of a continent to another without all dying.
Look, I grew up on the hard knocks of myth. Okay, like as far as I'm concerned,
I don't know
like,
that myth is... What do you learn from... I mean, it is a puzzle game, but it's also like, yes, that's right. Betray my brother and my father. Join me.
Lemmings. It's all about lemmings.
What I'm saying is like that game was that game is not fun. That's what I'm saying. Like if you enjoy sitting down and poking things for hours at end, maybe I don't know, but like that's what I had growing up as a video
Okay,
game. And
Dave, I had fun playing Myth, although that was over 20 years ago.
what else did you have at the time, Arthur? Did you have a choice of video games at that point?
A very small selection. Yeah, Myth, Roller Coaster Tycoon, which is where every time someone makes a stock market reference, I mention Bill Clinton because he's in the stock market there and he buys everything that he can at the very beginning of the game and it pisses me off. SimCity. You might notice all educational games here. Zumbinis, The Logical Journey of the Zumbinis, Math Blaster, Reader Rabbit.
So
That
here's
was
the
it.
games I
Oh,
had.
Echo the Dolphin.
What, you had a Dreamcast?
No, Echo the Dolphin was on PC.
Was it? Okay.
Yep.
So here's the games I had.
Had to get a joystick.
I had Myth, and I had Flight Simulator.
How are you gonna talk shit about
2000?
Flight Simulator, man?
That's all I had. Those are the games I had on PC. So, and then I got XCOM, and I remember that day. That was great. But then I named one of my bases like "fuck base" or something like that because I learned swear words. And my mum came down and said, "What's that?" And I said, "Oh, that's the game." And she's like, "Okay, well, you're never playing that game again." Didn't get grounded, but I lost the game.
Unbelievable. All right. You know, speaking of XCOM, let's talk to Big Spoon because that's a person who has played XCOM in the past, probably.
You are correct. I have played both XCOM and XCOM 2.
Well, when he's saying XCOM, he means
and
the
original.
original.
Yeah. Never played it.
What about
but,
Terror from the Deep? No.
Terror from
That's
the Deep
still
was the
regular
best one.
XCOM.
But that is definitely the type of game that I play for sure. So I finished Arcane. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Oh.
Also,
that reminds me.
I've only seen the
Actually,
first episode and I was not impressed.
Is it relevant to a non-League of Legends player?
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Yeah, it's like it's still a good story. Like you lose a little bit of the lore, like knowing how all of these things interact and being able to, like predict a couple things. But otherwise, no, not really.
I'd love to see how many people actually know about those characters when they watch that show because it got very popular on Netflix. And I'm wondering if it's like popular on Netflix because a lot of League players have left the game and then came back because of like.
Because every time I turn on Netflix to watch Cowboy Bebop, it's like you might enjoy watching Arcane.
Oh, did you like Cowboy Bebop? Because I finished it.
I'm only 3 episodes in.
Okay, are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, no,
that connection is mostly because they're both new shows on Netflix. I think
they're both in the top 10 right now.
Yes, yeah. But let me say quickly that Cowboy Bebop appeals to me both because of the story and because I understand jazz, and it's got quite a bit. It's got quite a bit of
then
jazz.
you really like episode 6 where he sits down and he's like, "So this is how Bebop works, okay?"
Yeah. He Kazuma's it pretty hard, I think.
I haven't reached the end, but I like Cowboy Bebop a lot more than social media does because they fucking hate it, man.
That's how I feel about it. It's very strange how I'm just like,
I like it.
I don't hate it, and
I hate all the new added scenes though. They're so fucking dumb. Everything with Julia.
Julia? Okay, yeah.
That's
I mean,
the
like,
wife.
okay, so they do a lot of really good things, like to wrap it up, I guess, right? So like, I tend to think of it as there's Cowboy Bebop the anime, then there's the TV show, and they're not the same. They're just not. They follow
There are
the
some
same
scenes
things.
that are just one for one. It's pretty close, except again for the Julia Vicious storyline.
I'm not saying more than that.
All right. Instead of what you guys did, I instead watched He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and that
I was about to
was a
say
mistake.
that. Yeah,
It was a mistake to watch it. I would have been better off not having seen it. I'll be honest.
Well, are you talking about part 1 or part 2?
I am talking about part 2.
Okay.
The trailer.
What is that?
You know, I thought the trailer spoiled everything.
It does not.
Really only spoiled the first episode.
Yeah.
And then shit got pretty weird,
Yeah.
pretty philosophical.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the direction it went. It was a little destructive for me.
A little destructive. I thought it would be a little too heartwarming for you.
What? Heartwarming? Jesus,
man,
what part?
Everything turns out great.
Well, that's the problem with all He-Man and She-Ra,
Yeah,
right?
look,
is that they're always like, ha ha ha, you may have betrayed me repeatedly in the past, but I will forgive you instantly and hold no accountability for your actions. Do whatever you want. Continue killing people for all I care, actually. Just, I'm the main character. She-Ra and He-Man both fucking did it, both to basically the same villain. It's infuriating. Who writes these shows to have like it's the themes are so good until the last second, and then they're like, you know what's important? Forgiveness. Just but not like regular forgiveness, like just blank check
blank,
anything you've done. Homicidal, genocidal, completely wiping out reality. You're good. You're good. We're best friends now. Let's fight beside each other, okay?
But the important part is they had a change of heart.
Oh my god. I hate it.
Welcome back to triggering Arthur Perkins. What will trigger Arthur Perkins this week?
So here's the thing. Like at the end of part 1, I was like, oh man, I was not happy at the end of part 1. So I was like, well, that's kind of cliche. Like we all saw that coming like a mile away. And then
I didn't. I honestly didn't. I was like, oh,
I did.
What a turn.
Like, it was interesting. The way that it happened, but I was like, okay, well, that was predictable. And then during part 1 and part 2, I was like, wouldn't it be interesting if this other character became that person? And then that happened, and I was like, oh, hey, cool, okay, all right. But no,
I hate it when the villains are dumb as rocks. Just pisses me off so much.
I enjoyed it.
You'd think if they were a villain, they would at least not fall for like incredibly basic deceit, right?
Did you watch the 80s cartoon show that was like targeted at 8-year-olds? Like that was a continuation of that. So
yeah, that like, you know, hey. Look,
I don't think an 8-year-old could follow this fucking plot line, man. It's fucking complicated.
Fisto and Ram Jam were in it, so I'm happy.
Oh, Jesus. That's your minimum level?
I'm just glad that they brought in the,
What was their
the
names?
side
Goat
characters.
Boy and Ram?
Yeah, Goat Boy and I forget what the other dude is, but he was like, we don't do
I was like,
puns.
wow, they're
Kill 'em.
scraping the bottom of the barrel for references here, man. You gotta call a dude Goat Boy?
That interaction though got me like I laughed out loud at that when he's like, yeah, well and then just it was good.
Unbelievable.
But you gotta take it in the spirit that it was created in, and that is as an 80s cartoon show.
So like a live action Power Rangers then basically.
Kinda.
Whoa.
But
Did you just talk
Power
shit
Rangers is
about
live
Power
action.
Rangers?
No.
Yeah, man, it's
We
awful.
love these things, Arthur. You're the one who hates them.
I like the Power Rangers movie. It was exciting as a kid.
wait,
If I
hang on.
rewatched it now, I would probably have very different opinion,
I'm
but
sure you would.
Don't worry, Big Spoon. It's almost December, so the Grinch in Arthur Perkins is coming out. So.
what? I've already been. Listen, I started the war on Christmas on October 30th. Okay. All right. What else
Yeah,
you got,
that's-
Spoon?
I think that's pretty much it for me right now. I just
You
finished
thought
those
Arcane
two.
was good?
I enjoyed it because I like the League of Legends universe and I like those characters and their stories. I would say
I don't want to see them redeem Jinx. It's just
Wow, then you should probably watch the show.
oh. Okay. Does it get
And-
better than episode 1? Because
Yes.
all
I
right,
would
that's
say
good
yes.
because episode 1 was pretty much it was like dropping a bag full of loot into the fucking ocean, and then there was Vander, and then it sucked again.
Yeah. No, I would say keep watching then.
Okay. All right.
It like if you aren't a League of Legends fan, like it's not going to be quite as good as it is for people who like the League of Legends characters and setting, but it's still pretty good.
You got anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Then, in keeping with some League of Legends puns, Lux will be switching to Pondo. Oh, that was tortured. Listen, audience, if you didn't get that, you're better off. You're so much better off. That was punishment for League players.
It sounds like it was punishment to me, just in general. My week has been rather uneventful. I mean, obviously Thanksgiving happened. That was the thing. Maybe mashed potatoes, they're good. Watched Cannon Busters, which is something that came out in 2019. It was actually pretty good. It was kind of all over the place, which is fine. I've been rewatching the anime Cowboy Bebop. I haven't started the live action one yet. So I've been taking whatever people say with a grain of salt, usually. Because I also saw that people were giving negative reviews, which didn't seem right. Because as far as the trailers go, it seems all right.
Look, everything in the
Really?
show is
Whoa,
incredibly
hold on. You saw the Cowboy Bebop trailer and you thought this is a show for me? The trailer was so bad.
What? Yeah. Again, Arthur's opinions are so strange.
Yeah,
on some
it's-
things. Because here's the thing: the entire show oozes just a huge amount of just what's the word I'm looking for here? There's a lot
service?
of
Atmosphere.
not atmosphere. Atmosphere is good. There's definitely a lot of really cool elements. The cinematography is fantastic. The lighting is absolutely spot on. The same composer from the anime came back to do the TV show, and it is fucking banging the entire way through. The characters, for the most part, are quite good. Jet is absolutely fantastic, even though they changed his race and story completely. It's amazing what they do with him. So.
Listen, man, nobody beats Faye. I will never be able to see that woman again in any show that she's in and not think this is a psychopath. This is a completely bonkers psychopath. That she does an excellent job playing Faye. Oh God, what a mess.
Well, I mean, I would say that the anime version of Faye is more femme fatale than what the TV show gives us. But you know,
I
in the
think
grand
that
scheme
was
of
the
things,
point.
in the
Just make
grand
it a little
scheme
bit
of
less.
things, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't bother me that much because like there's a lot of really good characters in there. But honestly, like people having such a like an insane reaction to it, I don't understand it. I really don't understand what the big gut wrench.
I
like,
don't
people are
understand
saying,
why
like,
you're beefing with me over the trailer. It wasn't
which
good.
trailer are you talking about? Which one?
The
One with all those
first trailer,
side
first
cuts?
release trailer. Not the
I
one
don't
where they
remember that
did the opening intro. Not the one where they did the scene on Venus with the tree people. Just the first trailer was just like,
You mean
a
the one
seri-
that was custom made, where they like
Yes.
did all the quick cuts and stuff?
yeah,
I mean,
I didn't like it.
I really liked that. I liked
No,
it.
I
It
didn't.
was very different. Yeah, I mean,
The actual story was definitely better.
I mean, yeah, the story was way better, but like in terms of like a trailer that's like supposed to be like, hey, look how funky and cool cutting and like really jazzy this is. I kind of wish there was like the show was definitely a lot slower than that. So I think the trailer kind of does it a disservice, where like there's a lot more conversation, I guess, rather than like quick cuts and kung fu and stuff like that. But
I guess. I suppose I won't hound you about it. Oh, what else you got?
You good?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm making some really shitty references tonight. Absolute garbage.
No, that's about it for me. I don't have much this week.
Shit, incredible. James, we're 27 minutes in. That's almost half of last week. Let's jump over to you, see what we can do here.
Quick question: Arthur's knowledge of Wheel of Time.
Nope, I'm gonna let that one pass. I'm just gonna let it
No,
go.
keep that genie in,
Alright.
please. We don't
Yeah.
need another fucking last time.
I do have two things for Arthur though. So the first one is Australians do use stuffing. So I don't know why an Australian was hitting you up for a stuffing recipe because
For American stuffing, our American
Okay.
Thanksgiving stuffing. Listen,
okay,
stuffing is somewhat it's I mean, look, we share a mother country of Britain. All right, we are a people, the two of us, that love meats with gravy put over them. All right, stuffing is the binding that brings those two together.
I could go either
But
way.
we got
on
that
it.
American stuffing, okay? We got the fucking cranberries. Sometimes we got the cran raisins. You got the soft, chewy bread parts. You got the croutonish parts. You got the carrots. You got the leftover vegetables from like the broth. All right.
yeah.
So
Not
I can go
everybody
two
can
ways
do.
on
Specifically suggested earlier this week on a Solaris Night show that maybe Australians don't use stuffing. So
I don't listen. I'm
I'm
just
schooling
getting
you
what
here,
I
Arthur.
know from my one. I know one person that knows about stuffing in Australia, and they insisted that American. Oh my God! Someone just said Vegemite and stuffing.
So I can go two ways on stuffing. The first one is simple aromatics, like your onions and your carrots, and you just push
Sure.
them in there, right? The second one is like bread, onion, whatever mixture pushed in there as well, right? That's the two ways that I can go with stuffing. Putting cranberries up there though, I don't know, man. That's like I've had two Thanksgiving dinners in my life, like American Thanksgiving dinners in my life, and what I can say about it was that somehow you guys made Brussels sprouts taste good.
That's because we use tons of butter and salt.
I think it was mostly cooked with bacon grease or something like that. At least the stuff that I had.
There you go.
And
good
the
at
other
that.
the other one was like for whatever reason you put sugar in mashed potatoes, which I thought was very strange. It was like, or it was like marshmallows or something like that. It was something fucking.
Now, are you
Oh,
talking
you're
about
thinking
sweet
of,
potatoes and marshmallows?
yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds right.
Yeah, sweet potatoes are like a dessert mashed potato.
No, they are nothing alike. Do not compare them.
still a
They are
carb.
not
I would
made by
agree
the
with
same
Spoon.
base.
I would agree with Spoon.
When you mash sweet potatoes,
Sweet potatoes are not a dessert, and they are not the dessert version of mashed potatoes.
nah,
It is
that
not
where-
sweet enough.
That is where
Without incredible brown sugar enhancement, sweet
Sure.
potatoes are not sweet enough to be a dessert. All
sweet
right?
potatoes on their own.
You listen to
But
me, motherfucker.
9 times out of 10,
I'll tell you what.
sweet
I'll tell you
potatoes
what.
are-
You go to South
got 'em. I
America
got
and
'em,
say that the
boys.
sweet
Here
potato
we
is a
go.
dessert food, and they're gonna get a yucca and just slap you in the face over and over again. It's a fucking savory dish. It is not a dessert. America
Listen,
tried to
if-
make it a dessert. It isn't. It's a nutritious, delicious. You can't just slather it in butter and sugar and say it tastes sweet. You can do that to anything and say it tastes sweet. You can do it to a pile of salt, and the salt would taste sweet, okay? Sun Spirit says sweet potatoes are not good. Thank you. I agree. In general,
Well, I mean,
sweet potatoes are not good.
Sweet potatoes are good if you just boil them with the skin on and then peel the skin back and eat them.
Okay.
Right? Like a baked potato. Or baked, actually, would probably be better than boiled, but yeah.
Wow, chat is divided on this issue. The mashed potato, sweet potato war has begun. And if you are on Team Mashed Potato, join me. We're about to let loose the
Now-
trebuchets.
Look, they're both good. Okay.
Eh.
Now I have put heavy cream in potatoes, but I have not put sugar in mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
That's
I found it
because-
very strange, but
Yeah.
That would be a terrible
You
move.
actually-
Why would you do that?
here's the thing, like Brussels sprouts in particular, if you cook them the right way, they can be delicious, but most people cook them the wrong way and they taste like acid, right? So the fact that someone cooked it the wrong way but then still made it delicious is a testament to how fucked up the the meal plan for Thanksgiving dinner tends to be in America. So,
Yeah, that's a
you
good
got that
question.
twin.
Go ahead. I was going to ask Hondo a question.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I want to talk about cream and mashed potatoes. All right. What is
Huh?
with the unification of these things? I need you to stand for everyone who does this. You know, I see people that are like, all you need for a baked potato is a dollop of sour cream, and I'm like, no, that's wrong. Why would you intentionally ruin the temperature balance of this delicious object? Why would you try
I
to
don't
make
know.
it creamy? It already is creamy.
I don't know. I don't use sour cream because I don't really care
Yeah,
for the taste.
my wife puts sour
Uh,
cream on jacket potato, but I don't like jacket potato though. So
I don't
Now
understand.
I've put heavy cream on my mashed potatoes, which I did that for Thanksgiving, and it makes it fluffier because you kind of whip it as you kind of mash it together.
I put margarine, salt and pepper, and a raw egg, and some cheese into mashed potato.
This motherfucker over here displaying
little
his
bit of milk.
non-American eggs.
I'm pretty basic. I put a little bit of milk in there and I mash it and then I eat it. Right?
What's it like? What's it like being able to eat a partially cooked egg, non-America?
Is this a problem for Americans? I don't know.
Yeah, we have salmonella. You can't crack the shell without cooking the. You'll die.
But that's the
You'll
thing.
get salmonella.
As
and
long as
die.
as long as mashed potato is straight off the stove, as you mix the egg through, it cooks the
It will
egg.
cook. Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
This is why when people try to recreate the Japanese dish that's just hot rice with a cracked egg over it in America, people just get stomach aches and die because our American eggs are diseased. You never heard of people putting eggs in mashed potatoes?
It's a pretty interesting one to get. I got it from my parents. So
You're telling me British people like putting weird objects in mashed potatoes? It's like telling me British people love putting some sort of cream over top of or like a curry sauce over meat.
have you ever encountered the Scotch egg, Arthur? It's a
I had it until about 4 weeks ago, and now I'd like to try one.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to purchase it at the time, but I was like, what is this? I looked it up on Wikipedia after seeing it in person.
Yeah, so
It's-
for those who aren't
it's
familiar, it's a
interesting.
boiled egg with the shell removed, wrapped in sausage meat, and then breaded and fried.
Fried.
Yeah.
It's
So,
2 days
Arthur,
worth of
Sounds
meals
oddly
in one
American.
egg.
Why isn't it ours?
You might actually enjoy this, Arthur. I had this weird like cultural thing happen to me a couple of weeks ago. So I cook a mean fucking breakfast, right? Like that's the one thing I can do perfectly is I can cook a large, like astronomically large variety of breakfast items, right? So I was making pancakes for my wife one day, and she was like, "Man, I've never had pancakes like this in my entire life." I'm like, "Okay, that's a little strange because it's literally, 1 egg, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of milk per person." Like literally the simplest fucking dish in the face of the planet. And she was like, "No, Polish people don't have pancakes like this." And she proved it to me by inviting over 7 of her friends, and each one of them were just like blown away by like standard basic bitch pancakes. And it got me thinking, like, is there like an American dish that the rest of the world has never seen before? And the only one that I could get real close to was like a clam chowder or something like that, right? Like,
there's no way the rest of the world doesn't have clam chowder. All right, that's impossible.
I've gone to a lot of places in my life, Arthur, and there's
I
only
would
one
assume
place
that
I know
Britain
of.
would at least have a form of fucking chowder. I mean, it was invented in the New England area. That's the people who left England to make a new England.
I've never encountered it anywhere outside the US.
Oh my God, we have the secret chowder recipe? No, God, we don't need to be exporting lobster rolls, okay? We don't need to fucking give people vomit. All right, see? Canada is saying they have chowder.
Yeah, but Canada's like an amalgamation country, like Australia is, where they have like a bunch of different recipes from other countries.
Yeah.
Like,
listen, this is why you'll have every recipe that America does, because we own entertainment. And we will tell everyone exactly what to eat and how to eat it.
I still remember the first time I had a clam chowder inside of a bread bowl. It blew my fucking mind. Like that was just like, yeah, this is peak.
Then the bread bowl softens up, so at the end you can just tear chunks of it out, and the inside is fluffy but also soaked. Yeah, don't worry about it. We're great.
Clam chowder on the San Francisco Bay.
Oh wow, what a great place to get it. I thought you could get Manhattan clam chowder there, but
honestly, like I haven't. I've been searching for that ever since, And the other thing that American, like I really love in America that I have never been able to find anywhere else is bagel schmear. Can't find it anywhere else. No one knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah. No one knows what I'm talking about. And I looked up a recipe for it.
I would try going to a delicatessen or something.
Dude, no. Honestly, like it's very hard to even get bagels in Poland, let alone bagel schmear.
Bagels? How do you live?
Bagels are a lunch item here.
Without bagels, how can you complete the ancient prophecy? Pizza in the morning? Pizza in the evening? Pizza at supper time? If you can't get pizza on a bagel, how can you get pizza anytime? How? Explain it to me.
Cold pizza, slightly warm pizza, and piping hot pizza. There you go.
Oh, God, that's disgusting. Any pizza that's not... Listen, pizza is meant to be served in 2 different temperatures. Piping hot with the cheese just melting enough to slightly burn the up top of your mouth, or cold pizza, like refrigerator cold, almost freezer level cold. These are the only acceptable temperatures for pizza.
No, the warm pizza is I put it in a microwave with a cup of water so that it doesn't go cardboard.
Oh, God. Oh, I'm not just vomiting. My heart's stopping as well. Microwaving pizza. You ruin the cheese. The bread will become moist and foldy.
No,
that's why you put water in there with it. That's why you put a cup of water in there, man. Come on.
Crisp.
I can feel a bald eagle is leaving me. My American power.
I mean, I've done the same thing.
You're a monster. Just use 10 minutes in an oven at 350.
I don't have 10 minutes sometimes. I want that.
Jesus. Listen, if you want to have quality pizza, you got to make the time, okay?
No, I'm with Punter on this. You fucking run out the door with a slice of slightly warm pizza in your mouth like an anime girl, and you bump into your...
Look, Arthur, if I spent like $6 on a delivery Domino's pizza the night before, and I just have some leftovers in the morning, and I want to have a bit warmer than fridge temperature, I'm not going to put the oven on to warm up $6 Domino's pizza.
A toaster oven?
Bingo.
Toaster oven?
Toaster oven. No, that is 100% an American thing. You guys don't even have kettles in America. You can fuck off with the toaster oven.
No, but the reason we don't have kettles is because we have a different electricity level than you guys. So we can't get the kettles hot enough.
What's that? You boil it in a pot to put it in tea?
We could, but we just don't have electric kettles. I'm sorry, man.
Stupid. I hate it.
Right.
I don't know if you know this, but not a lot of people drink tea in America. We could just drink coffee and get 10 times.
No, you do drink tea, except you freeze it and then you put a fucking 7 fucking pounds
gallon
of sugar into it.
Listen, we made tea better, all right? That's for the folks at home. That's Southern sweet tea.
You don't drink coffee either. You drink dark brown water.
Jesus, I don't drink either. I don't drink. Listen, if my water's dark brown, I'm fucking throwing it in the disposal.
The existence of the Americano is the funniest thing that I've ever read in my life.
Whoa, what's your beef with the Americano?
It's literally
you mean the coffee drink.
Yeah,
okay, you mean the coffee drink. All right. Never mind.
So literally the Spanish were like, we invented a drink for Americans, and the Americans are like, oh, awesome,
yeah, it's
I love
diluted
this
espresso. Yeah.
It's literally a cup of coffee that they just pour a shitload of water in.
Yeah.
Called the Americano.
All right, I'm going to keep on with my intro now.
Okay, all right.
So look, the other thing I was going to say was that, one more thing to put you to task on, Arthur. I just finished watching Spoon's Dawn Agreement. And it's part of your war on Christmas. You were referring to the 12 days of Christmas. And once again, you implied that the 12 days of Christmas start before Christmas Day.
I know.
Christmas Day is the first day of Christmas.
I know. You said that last year.
Until Epiphany. I did, and you somehow forgot. And
I didn't forget. Listen, James, in my fictional war on Christmas, logic has no purpose. I will continue this war in order to draw up dramatic debate with people and increase engagement on Discord.
Right now, I'm still dealing with my wife's war on Black Friday, so it's...
Listen, somebody on YouTube is like, if it was the 12 days of Christmas, it would have to start on the 14th, not the 13th. And I was like, ran the numbers. They're right. They're right. When they're right, they're right.
Checks out.
So next year, I'm going to say it starts on the 14th, the 12 days. Listen, James, I didn't forget. I think about it all the time. The fact that you schooled me on the 12 days of Christmas.
To people that just watch Dawn Agreement and don't watch this show, you look like an idiot. Just letting you know.
James, to people that watch either show, I look like an idiot. James.
I'm being rude. Yep.
You're being rude.
But I did spend $12 on Black Friday sales on Steam, so I am embracing the holidays despite my wife being completely against Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
What'd you get?
Buy inscription. Do it right now. Buy it. Go buy it.
No, okay. Well, I'll have a look at it. I bought Total War Warhammer 2.
Yeah.
And I bought all the Dragon Age content I didn't have on Steam. You
can play that with Pondo. I know he has it because I gifted it to him, and then he never played with me.
It's open. I can do it.
And then I needed to buy my son a new trumpet, and I looked up, and my local music store was doing a Black Friday sale, so I got him a cheap trumpet as well. So, but then, my wife feels that we've taken Black Friday from America. So obviously, there's no Thanksgiving here, so there's no Thanksgiving weekend to have it as a part of. But so she resents it entirely. I'm like, everything is cheaper. Why shouldn't we, use time to save money?
This is how I know that it's not an American Black Friday, because everything wouldn't be cheaper. They would just release lower quality versions of things that would cost less, or 2 weeks before Black Friday they jump the price up and then drop it back down to the price it actually is. Camel.com, friends. All right, I just bought Inscription, Dave. I hope you're happy.
It's gonna be so good. Do it on stream. Trust me.
It's gonna. If I'm playing this on stream, it's gonna be like 6 to 8 months from now.
Play it right now. Just drop whatever you're doing and play this game.
I'm doing this right now, Dave. This fucking show.
So the only thing for me this week was I started watching Hawkeye. I only watched the first episode so far. And then I got my Space Wolf painted video up onto YouTube and posted in the chat for this game as well. So if you want to see my finished spatials, even though I clearly had a potato camera when I was taking photographs of some of them. Yeah, that's up there now.
Do you recommend Hawkeye? Because we don't get Disney Plus here in Poland, so this is something I have to like source out myself to get.
So the trailer for it was really on point. Like, it looks like a lot of fun from the trailer. The first episode that I've watched is very much establishing the setting as such, and it didn't have that level of quality that was in the trailer. But I'm not going to condemn it. I mean, it wasn't a bad first episode. It just wasn't the joyous Christmas ride I was expecting from watching the trailer.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be like a fucking what's that movie called that come out at Christmas that everyone watches? Die Hard.
Die Hard.
You know, like a staple on Christmas sort of thing.
Well, let me say this. The Avengers are 7-0 when Hawkeye's on their side, and they're 0-4 when Hawkeye is against them or not present. Okay? Hawkeye has a 100% batting record, which is better than Captain Marvel can say.
Like, the one glorious part of the first episode is definitely Rogers the musical they go to on like Broadway, which is
I saw that in the trailer. I'm so fucking ready for it.
It's great. It is really great. with the opening song, I can do this all day.
I know.
The funny thing is that he was doing like musicals while he was in the army, right? Like that was part of his.
Yeah, he was part of the USO.
Yeah. But they've got like Ant-Man on stage for like the Battle of New York, and like Hawkeye's going, he wasn't actually there. Anyway, that's it for me. Shall we get started?
All right. You remember when I said we were at 27 minutes, and that was so much far? We now are within 10 seconds.
You took it, Arthur.
I know. I know. Go ahead.
Potato. All right.
Did you just say mashed potato? All right, that's it. The war's back on. It's right alongside the war against Christmas.
Previously on Underworld, Things of Fate. Encountering his future self, Adrian discovers that he has somehow entered the Blind Tesseract. Unsure of what to do with the hibernating gene stealer Patriarch, the crew of the Hand of Calixis depart Watchforce's Ariok, taking the slumbering creature with them. Adrian is returned to the Hand by Harlequins, finding himself delivered to the Medicaid deck so his injuries could be treated. Fully united, the senior crew discuss the next steps, with pressure from Shrain to condemn one of their worlds in order to accomplish their goals. Deciding whatever path they will take will lead them through Footfall, the fleet returns to the moor with a view to potentially seek the aid of the witches on Footfall. Thought for the day: only the insane have strength enough to prosper. Only those who prosper truly judge what is sane. Yeah, you're right there. I think that's clearly racking your brain.
Working through the metaphysics on that one. I'm not sure that's true, but go ahead.
I didn't write these thoughts for the day. They're all from one of my books.
Yeah, some of them are a little,
on the nose. All right. So Pondo, as your ships are streaming through the warp, heading towards Footfall, you're in your chambers or wherever it might be when there's a knock on the door.
Come in.
In walks Joss, the aid that was given to you from the Spider Bride.
Oh yeah.
Lord Commodore, do you have a moment?
Of course. What can I help you with?
I understand that we are heading for Footfall, correct?
Yes.
I still have this code segment that the Spider Bride gave me to deal with Tanthos Moros. Did you need me to use that?
No, not yet. I need to communicate with the Mechanicum. The group of Mechanicus nearby.
All right, well, please let me know if you require my services and whether you need it to look like you weren't involved or whether you specifically want to look like you were involved.
I didn't know there's an option that it looked like I was involved. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. I'll be sure to let you know.
She then quickly departs. A short while later, the hand emerges in the Furibundus system where Footfall is based, which also happens to be the name, the title of this episode, since Arthur didn't mention it in his intro.
What? I'm pretty sure I did say Furibundus.
Okay, well, go back and find out. If you're
All
on
right,
YouTube, you can do
Twitch,
so
just
easily.
clip it. Listen, this is the same guy who, what did he call me earlier? I don't remember.
What does he look like an idiot to some people? Is that the one?
Oh yeah, exactly. See, no. Listen, if you wanted to insult me, you would say, "This is the shortest cast member on this show." I wouldn't be insulted by that either.
I never got the impression you were sensitive about your height, but okay.
I'm not.
I say don't be jealous.
I'm very average height. I'm within like a quarter of an inch.
Being 6 foot plus has its regrets.
Yeah, but you can get the stuff on the high shelf without using an old people grabber, you know?
Anyway.
An old people
Gleeman not part of the stream. Gleeman has not played this game.
Yeah, Glimmer's not part of this. He's only part of, the other thing.
Yeah. Not that he's not welcome. Just we already have an incredible cast.
I mean, Glimmer's back on Monday and Tuesday.
All right. So among the so Footfall seems a bit quieter than what you used to in terms of ships present, probably because of all the stuff with the Moor previously has slowed down trade through the area. But one ship you do notice is in port here, is a ship that you've encountered before, the Hammer of Truth, which is the flagship of Janko Scourge, the rogue trader who had disappeared after he was attacked by Eldar.
This guy has literally done nothing to us or anyone we know, just to clarify for the audience.
Although I'm pretty sure Nero didn't like him anyway.
But the list of Nero kept an enemies list, so that should tell you all you need to know.
I don't remember why he had Scourge on there.
There's no reason. I just set aside. Listen, sometimes I do things just to do drama. Okay, Pondo, you may not have realized this.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ads of all time is a British ad which has a policeman pulling over a car, and he goes to the front window of the car, and there's a woman there trying to get a license and registration out, and there's a little girl sitting in the back, and the cop says, "Oh, mummy drove a bit fast today," and the girl like mouths, "She's not my mummy," and then the cop looks back at the woman, looks back at the girl, and she holds up a sign saying "Help," and the cop gets his baton out and goes like, "Get out of the car now!" And then the catchline is, "Some people are born to create drama," and it's an ad for a drama school.
Oh.
Like for a
I was pretty worried about where the story was going.
Anyway, so you pretty much your interactions with Janko Scourge were that you were in the auction with him over the location of the Dread Pearl, and then you subsequently heard that as his ship was leaving the system, he was attacked by Eldari. That's the entirety of your interaction with him.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And the fact that the briefing I gave you back in season 1 about other rogue traders didn't paint him in a particularly nice light.
Yeah.
All right, but that's the only other major ship, which is a...
well, I did hear about this Trask asshole.
Yeah, I was going to ask what class of ship is the Hammer of Truth?
That's an excellent question. I will tell you. It's a light cruiser from memory.
Heavy battle cruiser.
No, it's a Dauntless class light cruiser.
We can take him.
Oh yeah, because we have 2+ ships.
Yeah.
Don't we have all 3 ships?
Yes, I mean it's like we have our own light cruiser plus 2 other ships.
Yeah.
The Hand of Calixis is literally meant to snipe people from long range before they ever can shoot.
And the Guild of Thrones meant to use torpedoes to mess up big ships.
There's almost no chance that we will ever land a torpedo hit on a light cruiser.
We hit one
not unless it's not moving.
Well, it's moored right now, so if you wanted to start some shit,
perfect. Let's attack first.
The guy's done nothing to us. Just like, you know what? Screw that guy in particular.
I'm sure there will be no repercussions for a surprise attack on an unarmed docked ship.
Oh, it's armed, just not ready yet.
Any case, you're given clearance to find a a station keeping orbit and come aboard. So although you can moor here, there's no direct connection to Footfall. There's no longshore. You have to basically take shuttles across.
Of course. All right. So, Adrian, you know to burn retrograde in order to bring our perigee to the docks, right?
Yeah, that's not the way space flight works. I'm just going to bring
That's
us in for a landing.
exactly how space flight works.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Arthur. Adrian just flies straight at the station and stop.
Yeah, the Cowboy
Exactly.
Bebop method. Yeah. I'll never be able to watch space anime again.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
ruined.
no real reverse thrust whatsoever. I just
you just stop applying forward thrust, and
Yeah.
it comes to a stop, right? Yeah. Okay.
Indeed.
Well, yeah, as long as you got the parking brake on, it should, air friction.
Yep.
Someone asked me yesterday how to drift a car without an e-brake. It's harder.
You could do that, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. No, my last two cars haven't had e-brakes. So I was
gonna say that's not difficult. I mean, it's definitely harder, but
it's hard. It's harder to start.
The real question is, why would you run a drift anyway? It's never going to be the most efficient way to take a turn.
Not good for your tires or your car.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there are definitely use
games.
cases for drifting. Most of them involve like escaping a situation, but
Or looking cool.
Yeah. Look, anywhere you can go.
If you need a
sideways.
car to make you look cool, you got more problems than drifting. You got more problems than a handbrake, okay?
All right.
Man, you just made the first
Arthur,
four
thanks,
Fast
Arthur.
Furious movies irrelevant then.
What? The first Fast and the Furious movie was okay. And they don't even drift in that movie.
I just meant you said if you needed a car to look cool.
You're telling me Paul Walker and Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez need cars to make them look cool? They don't need cars to
but
make
I
them look
do.
cool. All right. Really? James? I'll
I
admit
spend
you're a
my
guy that
Sunday
walks
playing
around in a
role-playing
Jade
games on the
Falcon
internet.
t-shirt, so you do have pretty low standards.
Anyway,
Okay.
so what's your plan? This is your show. You're the ones that wanted to stop in Footfall.
Yes. I'd like to see if I can get a meeting with the Mechanicum.
Now,
To
by
get that-
Mechanicum, you mean the evil heretical Mechanicum, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not evil. They just do things not by the books. If that was my understanding. Are they evil? Are
That's
they the
an-
Dark Mechanicum?
That's an interesting question in the 40K universe, my friend.
No, the answer is that most things in the 40K universe are evil.
Okay.
There's not a lot of good.
Okay, so here's my understanding is that they're the Mechanicum that do
They're tech
things
heretics.
not by the book. Okay?
Yeah,
Are
I'd
they
say
heretic
that
heretics?
Pondo's description is closer to the truth than AP's description in that they are a group of the Mechanicum who have separated and built research stations in Port Wander and Footfall that don't communicate with the rest of the Mechanicum and might use tools or techniques that are not strictly sanctioned, but at the same time, no direct sort of edict to destroy them or wipe them out has been issued to any Imperial force. They are basically just a group on their own who keep to themselves and
You think you can be different than other people?
That's right. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm a rogue trader. That's my job. Okay.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, we're player characters,
Yeah. They might intone the rituals of ignition in hexadecimal rather than binary, and that just doesn't fly with the main Mechanicum. But
I was gonna
My
say they
God.
probably skip, the middle section, just do the beginning and end the important parts.
They skip the canting and they just slap the oil on it. All right, work better. So I'd like to make a meeting with them.
But they don't have any representation on Footfall itself. They occupy one of the various asteroids that floats in the area, but it's not connected to the main Footfall because Footfall is a series of large asteroids joined by chains
Right.
that has various domes on it, whereas their one is off a little bit, and they don't have any representation on Footfall itself. So
Okay.
if you're looking to reach out to them, you probably get something along the lines of like an automated message machine, like nobody takes your call. So you can leave a message that you're looking to make contact with them and hope that somebody contacts you back. Do you give any indication in said message about what you want to talk about, or just you want to meet with them? Like you're dealing with a servo skull here, which is
yeah, it's essentially I want to say, hey, I want to make some business arrangements. I'm interested in your work. I'd like to meet.
Oh my god, you're a fucking spam email. Hello, friend. I am a rogue trader. I want to do business. Call me back.
It's also everything is spelled incorrectly as well.
That's right.
Business is spelled with a Z.
Entitled to 2.5 million thrones.
We'll see where that goes. If nothing happens, fine.
What if you?
There is no immediate response.
What if you send whoever our chief mechanicus is to do some WhisperNet stuff with them? Right? They can use a wireless network to communicate. Ivy's not the chief mechanic. She's a.
She's like the head of the machine cult.
Yeah.
So
she's a religious representative.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the chief? What was he? What is it called? I can't remember what it's called.
The Engineer Prime.
Okay. Who's the Engineer Prime?
I don't think that they've actually ever been named, because you've normally dealt with Ivy, and I've always just assumed that she does that for you. When so, I know that Arthur's correcting on this, but yeah, technically speaking, we've always just used Ivy as the go-between to the Mechanicum.
That's why I just assumed Ivy was the Prime. Can I name her the Prime? Can I make her the Prime?
Promoting her? I don't know that you have the secular and non-secular power to do that.
Of my ship, at least. How about that? Okay.
So the unfilled, the unnamed roles in the ship right now are the Engineer Prime, the Drives Master, and the ship steward.
What does the steward do?
The cook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Rad wanted to be the steward, but never gave me any details about what the steward was like.
That sounds like Rad.
He doesn't watch the show, so he's never going to ever respond to that.
That's right, but I've left it open just in case.
That's three seasons of left open.
Now I want to respond to something Spoon said in chat, which is that the rogue traders are the Nigerian princes of the 40K universe. I disagree. I believe they're more like Mansa Musa, the Sultan of Mali. This is a guy who was so rich, he went on a multi-year journey around the world to tell people how rich he was. And then on the way back, he got scammed in Egypt.
Yeah. When he tanked every economy he came across.
This is what I'm saying, man. That's true rogue trader. You think we haven't tanked economies? We literally showed up to a planet that was under demonic attack. You think they just went back to the stock market and were like, everything's working right again? Yep.
Yeah, but that wasn't our fault. Wow.
Millions.
Okay. That wasn't any of the current crew's fault.
Wow.
There are certainly planets in this scene that have had global changes for your involvement.
Exactly. Remember when we gave guns to a bunch of nuns? The nun guns? You think we didn't?
No, we gave guns to a bunch of the military guys.
We gave the guns to the nuns. I mean, listen, we've given a lot of people guns at this point.
That's true.
We have drastically altered the fate of the universe, gun-wise.
Okay, I'll ask Ivy if she could go see if she set up a meeting with them.
Okay.
Since we have Ivy as a personality.
No worries. Well, she does come in. She said, when you have this conversation, I did pick up a Noosphere burst transmission from their asteroid immediately following your message, heading back towards Port Wanda. My guess is that they're probably doing research on you.
Oh, lovely.
So I'll keep trying to make contact anyway.
Thank
There's
you.
a Magos Biologos out there that's just like, okay, 6'1", 121 pounds, 0.338. Blood type AB negative. Let's get his current caloric intake, blood sugar, blood pressure.
So let me. Is anyone planning to go aboard Footfall, or are you just waiting for some response from the Mechanicum here?
Yes, because I need to go see if I can. Because I have to go through the Casbelica. Right? Yeah, the Casbelica to get a meeting with the witches.
No, the Obsidian Imperial.
Okay.
I'm going, James. Androchiron is looking for exotic flavored nutritional packs for his IV drips.
How are they flavored?
Saline. This one sounds delicious.
No. Listen, I'm prepared to answer this question. There are people who have been on IV long term that can eventually detect a flavor difference between their IV packs. Look it up. It's real.
I didn't doubt you. It's
We
just
have
nothing I
taste
would've
buds
thought of.
in weird parts of our bodies. Guys, you have them in places the ladies don't, and it's weird.
Listen, and Androchiron's just getting some Neo that he can just squirt into his.
So the question is he carding the IV thing around, or does he just have like a special hook on his staff for IVs?
It's his 4-star double as an IV pole.
No. We've established his force staff is a walking stick. So I feel like while I did it for comedic effect earlier, he normally just gets, like a 30-minute IV drip, the same amount of time someone would eat a meal.
I can only think of like a Slurpee flavor lineup for like saline drips now.
That's why he needs the IV drip, because his jaw is so weak now from never chewing.
Yeah, I you know what? He probably is looking into like frozen yogurts and stuff like that. It's like,
as part of his self-flagellation, he's pulled out his own teeth and stuff like that.
Jesus.
You probably couldn't even smoke a cigarette because your jaw grip strength is so weak. It would just fly to your mouth.
I've never thought of it that way. I didn't. Okay.
Anyway,
I guess I didn't realize how much strength it took to smoke a cigarette.
well, more than none.
We got to get Androchiron on this jaw workout routine.
Spacer's chaw. Chaw your jaw.
Those hand grip strength things you use.
Yeah.
One of those for like the jaw.
I mean, they make like
my rifle.
You just put it in your mouth.
yeah, they got like things that look like lips that you use to strengthen your jaw.
I would have said like a set of nail clippers right here. Barely get it even a fraction of a millimeter.
All right. This meme hole's going way too deep.
It always does.
That sounds like tonight. Okay. Anybody else can join me if they want.
I mean, I assume Adrian goes because he's the pilot.
I mean, there is also like you do receive a message from Vladane Tokara from the Casbelica telling you that he's at your service if you need anything on board Footfall as usual.
A coup and a riot, possibly in that order.
Dawn's is pretty easy. She literally watches this fucking embryo thing with like hawk eyes. Like any sign of like sentience, no. She's gonna kill it basically. So never sleeping basically.
Okay, no worries. So that when Androchiron, Adrian, and Pierre head aboard, when you actually reach, what is the equivalent of Footfall Longshore, which is pretty much just it's shuttle bay where things will be moved. There are excessive amounts of goods containers here, all stacked up, clearly waiting for offload and transport. That all also bear Scourge's sigils on them as well. A lot of which have armed guards staying nearby as well. You okay there, Ivan?
Yeah, listen, I don't know if you know this, but Androchiron can just read people's minds or force the truth out of them. He has no reason to go over and be like, tell me what's in there or I'll kill you with my brain. But the Nero inside me wants to do that for no reason, just to harass Scourge. No, I keep walking, James. Every fiber of Androchiron's being draws him mysteriously towards there, but he keeps walking.
It seems, Lord Commodore, that Rogue Trader Scourge is moving a significant amount of material through here. You're
You're on
muted.
mute, Pondo.
If only we had some way of finding out what exactly is in those boxes.
I can go ask around if you'd like.
Sure.
All right, Spring.
I mean, I could also go ask around too, I suppose.
Well, anyone that wants to ask around, give me inquiry rolls at +10.
I would love to.
Can I read their minds real quick?
Yeah, sure, no worries.
All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna invoke and then try to invoke to give me a bonus +1 before I do this. All right, and then I'm gonna do it fettered.
And that inquiry was at +10.
Yep.
I'm going to do it without Rogue Trader or Renowned Warrant. So I won't have the +10 for that.
Okay, you've invocated.
Holy shit. Okay. That's awful. I'll throw in a fate point to give it a 1.9 or at least a 1 degree of success.
Okay, so Arthur, you're doing your.
Yeah, I gotta look up the power that's attached to this. I'm gonna bet it's willpower, but you know.
Mind Trade is willpower based, because you're -2 psi rating if you want to do it.
Okay, so how much bonus do I get for having a 70 willpower?
So it's a willpower test if you're using 6 psi rating, which is -2 for being
No, I'm
fettered.
doing it fettered, so my psi rating is 8 halved, so down to 4, I think.
4. Okay, so it's +5 per psi rating. So it's a willpower test at +20. Okay, no worries. So I'll start with what you get first, Androchiron, from scanning these guards' thoughts. So effectively, as far as they know, what's in these crates is basically the wealth of the heathen stars. So the heathen stars are the furthest edge of the Koronus Expanse, beyond which nothing has been explored. And as far as they know, their master Scourge has found significant wealth there and is in the process of transporting it back into the Imperium to be sold for vast profits, for which they will all then be rich as his servants, they assume. So they don't know necessarily specifically the contents, but they don't have any cause to believe that it's illegal material or contraband of any type. It's just wealth for their Lord and Master, basically. Pondo, from your inquiries, so Scourge was missing for a long while, but it's apparently turned up now, having claimed whatever wealth came from the Black Pearl, and now has enormous resources at his disposal. Would probably be considered the richest rogue trader in the Expanse at the moment. He set himself up in like a small demons in Footfall while he's coordinating his ships, bringing multiple ships now, apparently not just the Hammer of Truth, bringing whatever wealth he's acquired from the heathen stars through here to be sold into the Imperium. You see, you have 1.9 total. So the other thing that's picked up is apparently you had to defeat a whole bunch of Eldar to claim this wealth.
Are the heathen stars where we know the Dark Eldar to be, the Drukhari that we're going to go to?
They're not quite that far. So I'll give you the Koronus Expanse Map again.
Sure.
So the heathen stars are basically up here.
Yep.
And down here is where it's supposed to be, but it's in the same general area. But it's also the heathen stars are in the path of the Tyranid Hive Fleet.
So you either made a deal to get the stuff or you decided to pick a fight with them after leaving, which would explain why he was attacked.
So Androchiron's going to come over and just be like, Lord Captain, if you'll excuse me, I heard that you wanted information, so I decided to read the minds of those men over there. Apparently, this is the wealth of the heathen stars. Janko Scourge has done well.
So I'll give you, so Arthur, something else that Androchiron picked up with your degrees is that not only did he beat Eldar in order to claim this, he also had to defeat another rogue trader that he was in a race with to claim this wealth.
He had to... I rolled doubles, James. Hold on a sec.
Oh, you did? Okay, so roll
Oh,
me
wait,
a-
I'm fettered though, right? So I skip it.
you skip it. That's right. Yeah.
Okay, never mind that. Perfect. Never mind. Sorry. What was it you said again? I was so busy going, oh god, I rolled doubles.
That they had to defeat both Eldar and another rogue trader in order to claim.
Oh, they had to defeat Eldar and another rogue trader. How interesting. Well, congratulations to Mr. Janko Scourge, who I hold no enmity towards. It's great to see another rogue trader getting such success here.
Did he have multiple ships before he got all of the wealth? No.
You know,
Okay,
Lord Captain, you've also gained multiple ships in basically the same time frame.
Yes, but the way he did it was a little bit
He killed a bunch of people.
unbelievable. Yes, the amount
Found
of people he
vast
managed.
wealth in unusual locations while suffering attacks by alien entities. Yep. There's no one I know like that.
And he did it all beyond the edge of the Imperium, where he is the law.
I just meant in a way that it seemed like the odds were heavily against him. You know what? I'm just going to drop it. It
Perhaps
feels
he's
too
just
familiar,
blessed, sir.
I suppose. Oh well.
Look
gonna
at that.
leave it
There's
be.
a exotic bubblegum stand over there. I've always wondered what that tastes like.
I suggest you stick to your IV drips.
Oh, are you sure?
Androchiron.
This says,
Bubblegum is for master chewers.
this says kiwi dragon fruit twist. How bad could it be?
Be my guest.
Expert level chewing required. What is a gobstopper? Is that something that I should be investigating?
What are these?
How many licks does it take to get to the
jawbreakers?
center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? He's just still licking like 4 hours later, like, ah.
Okay, Pondo, you get a message from the Eternal Praetorian that they've just detected that the Grace of Sofa has arrived in the system, which is Charlebel Armelin's ship.
Interesting.
Yeah, coming from the west, Galactic West, so it's coming rimward. So they're coming from within.
There's a feeling I get when I look to the west, James.
Okay. I'll keep that
No
in mind.
stairways here.
I can't think of anything at the moment. I need to get to the meeting with the Quintus before I forget. So I can get whatever else I can get from them, either the
The
Pattern or the talisman.
Pattern,
The
talisman.
pattern's
The
what they
talisman.
apparently had.
I keep wanting to say pendant for the talisman. I don't know why. The talisman or the pattern.
Oh, Lord Captain, are you going to need me to come with you? You know, I was going to wander around looking for low sodium IV drips. You know, I'm worried about I'm worried, you know, that I'm exceeding 1,000 milligrams a day, the daily recommended by the Lords of Terra. But if you need me to help you against the horrifyingly powerful space witches of chaos, I could come with you.
Sure.
All right.
You
good.
can come along.
How attached are you to these people being living when we leave?
Honestly, it'd be hard saying if you can keep them from not living.
The thing about living on an asteroid is that the walls are very thin, sir.
Let's not destroy us with them.
Oh, okay. Understood. That's our priority. All of us survive. Got it.
Okay. You seed out into the underworld of Footfall that you're looking to make contact with the witches by way of the Obsidian Emporial. And within minutes, you get like a notification on your Vox that the Obsidian Emporial would like to meet with you. They have nominated the same auction house that you went to previously. They're ready to meet as soon as you are.
Oh shit! I forgot. I need to think of something to offer to them. Whoops. Okay.
You're literally a rogue trader.
Yeah, I have to think of what I have that could offer.
You have several colonies.
I have a patriarch.
Has anyone got any underworld laws, like common law from Underworld?
No.
I have all common laws. So.
You know what? I
Okay.
can buy it.
Give me your infused knowledge roll, Arthur.
Technology skills here. So I'll do this at a. I get a plus 10, but I have a minus 20 because I don't have it as a skill.
Well, your intelligence is halved, and you get plus 10.
Okay. I'm not going to do this as a regular roll then because that gets confusing.
Yeah. What's your intelligence?
Skill value. My intelligence is 50, so I got 25 with a bonus of 10. There we go.
So you need 35.
Oh, look at that. You made it.
I made it by a lot.
Yeah. Oh, you made it by 5 points. Yeah, so...
Wait, why does it say 3.9 degrees then?
Oh, okay, you're right. So, yes, it's... I mean, no, that 3.9 was your previous roll. That was a roll for your...
Oh,
for your
Yeah, that
never
was your
mind, never mind.
77.
I was deceived.
Yes.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so the speed at which they came back with a response to talk was conspicuously fast. Like, you know, the whole thing, you remember that these are primarily a financial or a trade house. And, you know, to come back so quickly would imply normally would weaken their bargaining position. You know, they want to sort of treat them mean, keep them keen. But how fast they came back to meeting up with Pierre is definitely conspicuous.
James, you're scary.
What do you mean?
I figure
Treat
it's
him mean?
but-
What is with these tsundere witches marketing us?
They want the patriarch. It's what they want.
It's like when somebody like gives you a price on a new car, and you know that price is like better than anything else you get anywhere else by like at least 30%. You still go, that's a bit high. You know, you always bargain, even when you get a clearly good deal.
That hurt.
Yeah. Is that the best you can do?
Yeah, look, when I get this, I'm going to have to go and get it checked out as well. That's going to cost me at least $500.
This is my best offer. I know what I got.
No,
I love that phrase. I know what I got. So good.
I it's at work this week, right? I'd give someone a price. I mean, like, okay, I need your best and final offer. And so I basically said, like, if you do this extra, I'll give you a preferred discount. And they go back and say, okay, great, I love it. Okay, what about a rebate? Fuck off.
What about a tax incentive? What if I buy some Thin Mints for your daughter?
All right, but yeah, it's implied they want to meet soon.
Okay. I guess I'll ask them name the place and I'll be there.
Well, they told you the auction house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll be there.
Okay.
My
Norris,
goodness, sir. Look at that board over there. There are people bidding on guessing what's in the thrice-locked chest of Nero the Blade.
The Imperial is not in trade today, so there's no sort of like massive crowd around the Imperial's auction house. It's all sort of shut down. But you know, there are clearly some guards outside who, when they recognize you and your seagulls sit, like, they motion you forward. The Intercessor Prime is waiting for you inside.
Excellent. Lead the way.
So when you go inside, it was set up like a theater in the round, with like the stage in the middle where the auctioneer would sit, and then you'd all sit around that. But it's not being set up for that right now. Like, all the chairs is obviously there and the podium's there, but there's just a man standing not far inside the door who is, by our standards, probably in his like early 90s. So pocked skin, grey, scraggly hair. He has some sort of large calculation engine strapped to his shoulders and back that sort of hangs in front of him like almost like a portable pipe organ, except it's more sort of some sort of calculants array to the point where it's heavy enough that his back is now hunched. So his head is pulled forward, and he has a solid hunch behind his neck from the weight of carrying this device around, which you can see is like it could not easily be removed. It's not just straps; like it's actually locked on in several places. And he can't really sort of sit easily with this device, but he sort of leans against the wall and pushes himself off and sort of hobbles over towards you, and tries to sort of extend a hand over the top of the device to shake your hand. Presuming you do, he's got all the strength of a wet fish. Like, you know, you feel like you could probably rip his arm off with minimal effort if you needed to.
Androchiron feels like this guy might be his long lost brother.
Lord Commodore, although should it not be Lord Admiral now? You have so many ships.
3. I don't know if I qualify
No.
for Admiral yet.
We don't have to tell him about the fourth one.
Yes. I know what I
Yes,
got,
yes.
Adrian.
Yes, 3 ships.
Heart
I
of Majesty,
understand.
OBO.
Fourth one is decommissioned. Or not in commission.
Now, thank you for meeting with us at such short notice. It's fortuitous that you reached out. I didn't know you'd arrived on station just yet, but the witches have asked to speak with you.
That's odd. I hadn't heard of them asking for anybody specific before.
They've paid us well to facilitate a meeting.
Very well.
When would you like to speak with them?
I'll be in Footfall for probably a couple of days, so anytime's fine. I'm available at the moment, actually.
Do you remember how to reach the asylum?
Vaguely.
I can have one of the guards outside lead you down if you like.
That'd be quite lovely. Thank you.
Oh. This has been a very simple transaction. I thank you for your understanding. Given how much they paid, I figured there'd be some sort of issue in getting you to speak with them, but very well. They know best, I suppose.
I would agree. They appear to have more knowledge than what most do.
All right. He taps out a few things on his machine, which like spits out like a stock ticker style lead of paper, which he then tears off and sticks into a pocket and says, very well, I'll have the men outside take you down to the asylum.
A 39.7 second conversation. How wonderful.
he does do time based fee system. So
He's like, just 1 second, Lord Admiral. Have you ever heard of the timeshare?
No. Like he has a minimum engagement of 1 hour, so he can get done less than an hour. He still charges the full
Yeah, all he needs is 1 minute to get that 1 hour pay. Incredible. God, minimum engagement.
It's definitely an ambush. Of
This
course it's
guy-
an ambush.
Whoever negotiated his contract did an excellent job. Okay.
I mean, let's put this in perspective. What they probably paid him is probably minuscule to them, but a lot to him.
Yeah, but they're evil witches of chaos powers.
Who don't really give a shit about money, if I remember correctly.
They care a lot
Yeah, so-
more about souls.
So I think you were talking on Donogram and Arthur about trying to get started again with Farming Simulator 22
Yeah.
and trying to have a thing where people have more roles.
Yeah.
So let me know if there's like a CFO opportunity available.
Oh, James, incredible. I would love for you to just show up on voice chat occasionally and just be like, all right, we're going to need to break our spending for a little while. I got an IPO I'm investing in.
By the
Numbers
way,
coming back red,
Arthur,
boys. Gonna need you to work overtime off the clock.
Arthur, have you seen there's a new TV show. I don't know if it's new, but I saw it recently called Clarkson's Farm on
Never heard of it.
Prime. It's Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear. He
Oh,
he
yeah, you
runs a
guys talked
farm
about
for
that.
a year.
Yeah.
Oh god.
The problem with the beginning of this conversation is that I don't know anything about Jeremy Clarkson except he's on Top Gear, which is a show that exists about assholes.
Yeah, he's basically
Used
just an
cars.
asshole. But it's he's owned a farm for like 4 years and he's never touched it. And then he's just like, I'm gonna spend an entire year learning how to be a farmer. Funniest fucking shit I've ever seen.
I was wondering what I could do with all my money and how I could make it disappear, so I decided to pick farming.
Yeah, literally, he's just like, at the beginning, he's just like, I bought a Porsche tractor.
Well, that's the thing. Is like I didn't watch all your farming shows, so I can tell you're way too heavily capitalized.
Yes,
and your returning working capital was not great.
Yeah, I think at the end of the show, he made a total of $12 profit.
Hey, listen, we had our biggest haul last episode and managed to buy the most expensive equipment in the game, and now we're poor again.
Yep. Yeah, no,
We
he
had a
bought a
great
Porsche
haul.
tractor, and
So if I were an investor, that would be a great time to start talking about a change in management.
Change in management. I mean, here's the thing.
Because
This is a privately owned corporation by the Perkins family, personally led by Boss Perkins.
So it's private equity. Okay.
Yeah,
no
we
worries.
don't need investors
You
here.
make whatever mistakes you like then.
so Arthur,
Oh, I
did
certainly
you-
do, James. I certainly do. Let
when
me tell you about
when you
leasing
purchased all
equipment.
when you purchased all the new equipment in your farm, Arthur, did you have the exact same problem that Jeremy
I
Clarkson
wish
did when he bought the
I
Porsche?
wish I had
where
purchased the equipment, Dave. That
Nothing
was the
fit
problem.
nothing fit into his trailers, and his tractor was too big for all the gates that he had, and it wouldn't fit in his shed, and all this other shit.
We didn't quite have that problem, but I can see
need to
where
watch,
that might
you do need to
happen.
watch the first episode of Farm Simulator, Henley, so you can see them buying equipment. They need to transport something to the farm, so they buy transport trucks, only to find out they don't fit the equipment they need to actually put on the back of them.
Listen, I think that it really takes like 3 or 4 episodes. When we stop doing transport jobs is when we actually start farming and doing good shit. And at some point we got away from taking private contracts, and this time I think we're gonna stick with private contracts because we spent a lot of time standing around doing nothing. We just need to keep an eye on the harvest. All right. Meanwhile, we're walking down a scary death tunnel towards the infinite galaxy witches who can read our minds.
Yep. So yeah, you follow the instructions back down through the bowels of Footfall into the sort of the caves beneath, before you finally arrive at, I think so Spoon was there last time, certainly, or Adrian wasn't, but Pierre was, the mysterious door to the asylum with the human orderlies who guard it without weapons, just white stained scrubs. Are you right there, Arthur?
Oh my god. Describing Adrian as a guy with adult sock'em boppers is so good. Too pound for this. Oh my god.
It's so accurate.
Are you actually wearing your dual power fists at the moment?
Absolutely. And if I need to do any manual like dexterity, like fine dexterity, I just have Androchiron do it for me.
I was gonna say I could just open the door with my mind.
Adrian's slowly turning into a
You're like
late
Tony Stark.
2019 fighting game character. Like,
You're like Tony Stark. I don't like people handing me things.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll tell you what, because I don't have to roll for activating the base powers, the really basic ones, right? I'm going to use my mind levitation power to reduce the weight of his power fists while we're walking. Just so he feels like he's got a good swing to it. That way, once he's used to it, I stop using it in the middle of combat.
Are you supposed to like make them more heavy so that way he gets like stronger with it? So when he
No. I'm doing the opposite. I'm making him lighter.
Yeah, it's the Goku style training.
No. I want to make him weaker. I don't want to increase his training power.
And
psychic power to reduce bone density, please.
Having just finished Arcane, this is
Oh, okay. All right, calm down. You want to get a facial tattoo while you're at it?
just an A underneath one eye.
All right. So the orderlies turn to Androchiron and Adrian, and the lead one says, you've not been admitted before. You need to know the rules. Do not approach the witches. Answer questions when spoken to. If they give you something, they will leave it in the middle of the room. You can go and collect it, but approach no further. When the hearing is done, when the session is done, please leave straight away and return to here. Do you have any questions?
No.
No? Okay. They open the door, which leads to a corridor past several rooms with which you hear people screaming in insanity from the various rooms. They have like a little windows. If you wanted to, you could like stick your head and see. But if you any room is going to be a padded room with a person in a straitjacket screaming, or
I was going to say I could see through the doors already. I'm good.
Until finally you reach the room or the door at the far end of the corridor, which, strangely enough for you, Adrian, when it opens up, it's a very similar thing to what you saw in the Blind Tesseract, just like the black expanse beyond the door.
Is he going to have PTSD opening every single door for the rest of his life?
Second cyber eye.
Yeah, I just brace myself before any door opens.
Yeah.
I never walk into any room that's not lit now.
All right, Androchiron goes through first, and he's spending the whole time looking through the warp.
Yeah. So you stepped outside of reality as far as by going through this doorway. It's not a doorway to the warp. It is that, but it's not a doorway to. It's similar expression when you perceive the doorway in the vault. When you're outside the door, you can't see beyond it. All you can see is it's an apparatus, something else.
All right. Question: is there gravity?
Yes. Well, so I'm telling you this before you step through. You can't tell, but you're not being sucked in like you were.
Because what if I wanted to snap back to reality, but then there goes gravity?
Either that,
no,
or
actually, you are being sucked out.
No worries, Marshall.
So,
Seems like your psychic powers explode suddenly and your headaches go.
guys, mark your bingo cards because Arthur said the thing, and later in the episode, expect him to make the Gwent nod reference, so that'll come up pretty soon too. So,
we haven't done a bingo in a while. It might be worth doing one. Listen, you gotta admit, I feel like I set that one up pretty well before knocking it down. Did you see it coming?
One of the bingo cards will say, mention the bingo card, right? Like,
wow. That's not fair. I only do it like every 4 months. All right, I stepped through it.
Okay.
Flip over the bingo card to start your second bingo card from referencing the first bingo.
Bingo 99.
I'll go second.
So once you're through Androchiron, you once again you can sense the aperture behind you, but not what's beyond it. But you are definitely not in the same place in reality. It feels like the warp, but by the same token, it's not. It's almost like when you're inside a ship inside the warp, you're inside a portion of reality inside the Materium. Only you don't sense a Geller field or similar. You just feel that you are in a different place somehow within the warp. But there's no sense of like a floor. You feel something solid beneath your feet, yet you can't sense a floor. Almost like something is creating a patch of reality beneath your feet enough to give you something to stand on.
So there is gravity. Okay.
Yeah. Well, at least something is giving that impression to your senses, but you don't actually sense like that. There's elements around you. Yeah.
All right. I don't see any witches around. I just see infinite darkness in every direction.
At the moment, yeah.
Okay.
And the other two when they've stepped through as well. And the door is closed behind you, so all you can perceive now is the three of yourselves in this inky blackness. After probably a few heartbeats, you see up ahead a small plinth appears, like a stone plinth, probably about 3 feet high, on top of which seems to sit a leather-bound book. So think about like where you've got a bound book with like a leather straw, like an elastic strap you can pull over to keep it sealed or keep the cover closed from the back. And then beyond that appears the 7 witches that you encountered before Pondo. They sort of slowly fade into existence. And when they speak, they all speak at once. They all intone in the same way, the same voice that's shared between them. Welcome back, Pierre Cowles.
Yes. Very welcome indeed. It was strange. Usually ones are sort you out, but it appears that you wanted to speak with me.
We have a gift for you, something that you will need. But before we can give it to you, we must request a payment. The payment is an answer to a question from each of you, except him. They all point at Adrian. The question has already been answered in his case.
Interesting.
I'm just saying, I would watch an anime about a space pirate on the loose after being fired, whose code name was The Answered Question. What does it mean? All right, don't mind me. Let's get back to it.
If you answer our question truthfully, you may take the pattern, and they indicate towards the book on the plinth. But both you and your witch must answer.
Very well.
Wow. That's so deeply offensive to Androchiron, who has no outrage. So this is a weird feeling for him.
There's like some sort of primordial feeling, like he knows he should feel outraged at this, but just can't seem to feel it.
It's been so long since I've been angry. Is this what that feels like? To call someone blessed by the Emperor himself a god?
Are you ready?
Androchiron will tap his staff on the ground.
Yes.
Like you go to do that, and like the staff just like goes through nothingness. Like there's nothing to actually contact on the ground.
Wow.
It's like standing on the edge of like a cliff and trying to tap the air in front of you.
All right, I try to tap like beside my foot.
Okay, yeah, sure. All right.
All right, I look ridiculous doing it too.
Yes, I'm ready.
Very well. We will begin with you, Pierre Cowles. If you had it within your power to change any one thing in the past, one action, one moment, one decision, one battle, some element historically, what would you change?
Undo the Horus Heresy. Save everyone. Yeah, one opportunity. I'm right there
That's
with you, Adrian.
That's right.
We're killing it tonight, guys. We're killing it.
I go back in time to when I was a fetus and I choked myself in the womb. That's okay, isn't it?
Good movie, bad ending.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Honestly, if I could have remade a decision, if I knew better, I would probably say when I accidentally destroyed Regina 4.
For the first time you've ever encountered them, they actually look at each other. Like there's significant NPC glances amongst each of them. They've always, when you encounter them before, they were always staring ahead as though they were like one entity. This is the first time you sort of got the impression of them actually conferring amongst themselves.
Excellent. Now that we've taught them individuality, we could defeat the Delvers.
It's the equivalent of a witch spit take. Yeah.
Right. And then like slowly, like one of them nods and then the second one nods until all of them like, shared a nod and they turn back. Very well. Androchiron, the same question is posed to you.
And he would change the Horus Heresy. Make it never happen. The Imperium remains united always and forever in strength.
Okay. They all share glances as such. I would like you, all three of you, please, to give me, not in scrutiny rolls, please. Scrutiny at +0.
I have that skill. That's a skill I possess.
Got to scrutinize me making.
Can I bump my scrutiny? That's what I really want to know.
That sucks. I literally just dumped 2 points into it before this session, so I'm not.
I'm gonna point.
Oh, what I roll a 21? Incredible. I'll re-roll that. Well, I mean, what are the odds, right?
Oh shit! All right.
Pretty good, I guess. Yeah, that's an absurd vent of 100%. So.
Okay, so you, both Pierre and Androchiron get the impression that they feel you gave the wrong answer. It's not the answer they weren't expecting to hear, but it's not the answer that they wanted. Pierre, with your 3 degrees, you pick up from the subtlety of their expressions to each other that his wrong answer doesn't matter, but it doesn't bode well for him.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now,
and then,
this book and this plinth are in the center of the room, correct?
Yes.
All right, I'm just going to use my power to force yank it over to me. Because we were told if they leave an item for us, we should take it.
Yeah.
So now that we've done how they feel about it means nothing to Androchiron. He's just like, whoop, thanks for the book.
Okay, give me your manifesting, your power roll, please.
Wait, do I have to manifest this one? Let me double check that. Yes, I do. Never mind. All right. Oh no, I don't. I don't have to make a focus power test for this.
Okay, so
because it's the discipline free power. You know.
Oh, so
super
from
easy.
telekinesis.
Yeah. Oh no, never mind. It does still need a willpower roll. All right, let's do it. I'm doing it unfettered, so technically I have a plus 20 to that.
You
So
see a second astral hand come in, just slap it out of the hands.
Okay, give me a percentile roll, please. Just straight percentile.
22. Oh no! But I'm fettered. I'm fettered.
Yeah, but we're in the warp, bro.
Okay, warp power courses through the Psyker's body, scorching his soul. The Psyker cannot use any other powers for 1 hour and suffers 5 corruption points.
Wait, is
But
this
you
the?
This is perils, not psychic phenomena.
Oh, I get to roll an extra D100 for that. Sorry, I get to roll an extra D10 and choose which D10 I drop.
Okay. 6. Okay. So
do I
your
want
options
a
are
26 or a 26 or a 22?
or a 62. So okay. So you can have that, or you could have locked in. The power cages the psychic mind in an ethereal prison. The psychic falls to the ground in a catatonic state. Each round thereafter, he must spend a full action to test willpower. On a success, his mind is free and he's restored to his body. Or
No, I want the other one.
So, or a warp predator rips into existence within 3d 10 meters of the Psyker for d10 rounds or until it is slain. It's to test the Psyker and trains his attack on the fool that unwillingly summoned it.
But do I get the book?
You get the book because you succeeded in the
And then I
test.
immediately fall down into a catatonic state.
Okay.
But my arm is wrapped around the book. No one's getting this thing from me, my weak limbs.
Yeah, so I'll let you keep, Pierre, the original scrutiny roll to detect that. You know, they almost have a look of thank you for proving our point, but they don't stop you from taking the book.
Pierre says, like eyes closed, like, oh.
All right, I wake up 1 round later. Hey, look, I am literally following the rules as they were told to us.
Yeah.
We should go, Lord Commodore.
Yes.
Good luck. Good luck, Pierre Cowles. This is the last time we will meet.
I apologize. And
No apologies necessary. Everything has taken place as it should.
Kill them so bad. This would be like, oh yeah, you could foresee all this? Dodge this.
I think when Androchiron wakes back up, like 30 seconds later or whatever it is.
It's 1 round! 1 round!
I don't know how long a round is in Dark
It's
Heresy.
definitely not 30
He's
seconds.
just over.
Six
he's
seconds.
over.
6 seconds.
Okay. Or he's being picked up by Adrian and being dragged towards the exit.
Yeah, well, the door opens now.
All right. I hold the book up while I'm being held in the air. I'm like,
and you come out of the room back into the corridor and leave.
I hadn't realized the
What is that
warp was so perilous.
It wasn't your domain to do something in there.
But I did.
Honestly, it's a surprise you didn't just explode.
Indeed.
But I was fettered. There should have been nothing.
Again, it's not your regular domain. It was theirs. Therefore, the
It's
rules
true.
don't
I
apply.
haven't achieved domain expansion yet.
We have what we need. Let's get out of here.
But wait. Lord Captain. We never got the low sodium IV drips. That's it. That's it. That's the last scene.
Oh, actually, there's another final scene before we go to our break. We see your group leave the area, taking the book with them, and then we cut to a scene once again inside the witch's domain. They're sort of standing around, looking to each other, and one of them says, "The witch will have to die. He could ruin everything." And at that moment, the door to the corridor reopens, and we see a figure standing there in the black body glove and mask of a Vindicare assassin. Although rather than carrying their rifle, they simply have the pistol drawn. And as they step in, as they pass through the aperture between the real world and this warp space, we see a pair of rainbow-colored wings unfurl from their back, feathered wings. The witches.
I'm not going to be tricked. Last time this happened, it was bad, James.
The witches don't look surprised. One of them says, "We know why you've come." And a sort of soft, feminine voice issues from the otherwise androgynous assassin and says, "Then you know what I have to do." They say, "We are ready. We have done what needs to be done. You should know well enough that motions are in play now that cannot be stopped. They will either succeed or everybody will feel it." And then we sort of cut to a scene from like the corridor with, like the door is just out of shot from the camp for the scene, but we hear like 7 rapid sort of like silenced shots. And that's where we will go to our break.
Those witches are so wise. Either we'll succeed or we'll fail. What incredible depths there. Who could match their knowledge? We'll be back in about 8 minutes or probably 10, I don't know, for the second half. Stick around.